Welcome to our second installment of our training of how to stream a sacrament meeting for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and specifically for the Gilbert Val Vista stake of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. In our previous session, we showed you how to set up OBS, the open broadcast software that we'll be using to broadcast our sacrament meetings. And if you haven't watched that video, I recommend you watch that before you watch this video, because this video assumes that your OBS is set up and configured for streaming. But for this video, we're going to talk about how to set up the YouTube stream for streaming a live meeting for sacrament meeting. So the first thing you do is you come to Google, and in the upper right-hand corner, we're going to click Sign In. If you have a little dot here or something different, you might need to sign out of your personal account. But the first thing we need to do is we're going to sign in. Now, for this example, I'm going to sign in to the Guadalupe building. We've created in the Val Vista stake a YouTube channel for each building. And it's already configured. It's already set up to live stream. It's ready to go. If, as the ward technology specialist, you would like to set up a ward YouTube channel, that's up to you and your bishop. But if you do, let's try to keep things consistent. In this case, it's the guadalupe.gvvstake@gmail.com. You might make it ninthward.gvvstake@gmail.com. That just keeps things consistent as people change callings. Then we know where to look for these things. So I'm going to log in to the Guadalupe Building YouTube channel. Now, all the usernames and passwords for these accounts for the different buildings were mailed out to you in the instruction email. So take a look at that to get those username and passwords. So now you'll see we're logged in as the Guadalupe Building. I'm going to go to my tools and I'm going to choose YouTube. Now I'm in YouTube. You can go over to your videos if you would like, and it'll show you any videos you have out on the channel. But for this example, we're going to go right into streaming, and I'm going to click Go Live. Now it's going to take me into YouTube Studio. This is where we're going to create our stream. Now in this case, I already had a stream out there that I did as a test as I was practicing for this training. And you can click Reuse, and it will use that, and off you go. You're ready to go. In this case, I'm going to recreate it from scratch so that you can see how that is done. But this will streamline your creation of streams to use the last one you used. So I'm going to hit Dismiss, and I'm going to call this Ninth Ward Sacrament, and we'll give it another date, like 07/25/2020. I would put dates on these so that you can tell them apart. You want it to be unlisted. The difference between the different settings is private is only the people logged into the account can see it. Unlisted is only the people with the link, and public is anyone can see it. The stake presidency has asked us to limit our viewership to those people in the wards, and the best way to do that on YouTube is unlisted. So we're going to leave that as unlisted. Put a description in if you'd like. I like to change this to education. That's fine. You're going to schedule this for later. We're going to choose, I probably should have made that the 26th, but we're going to choose the 26th. I had that wrong. Let's change it. So 26th, and we're going to do it at, oops, went too far. We're going to do it at 9 a.m. Okay, there's 9 a.m. If you want to put a thumbnail up there, that's fine. It'll give people something to see if they go to the link early. Leave yes for kids checked. That way everybody can get to it. And then click Create Stream. It's going to create us a stream. And now we're in the studio control panel. There's a couple of things we want to set before we move over to OBS. The first thing is, I recommend you do auto start. What auto start does is it makes it so that you can start the stream from OBS. Otherwise, you have to come in here and click start the stream and then go back to OBS and tell it to start. Enable auto stop is very similar. It allows, when you stop the stream in OBS, it'll stop the stream here. And after you get into streaming every Sunday, you might want to use this. The first time or while you're practicing, I wouldn't use this. And the reason for that is you may want to change your OBS settings to fine tune your stream. And you don't want to have to create a new stream every time you change a setting, because you can't change the OBS stream settings while it's streaming. You have to stop the stream, change the setting, restart the stream. If you have auto start set, it will close the stream on YouTube and you'll have to reopen it, which would be nice when you're ending a sacrament meeting, but when you're playing with it, leave that unchecked. I'm going to go ahead and check it for this example because we do want to end it when we're done. Enabling DVR is a nice feature for your members. What DVR does is it allows somebody who comes into the stream late. Let's say we've got some Mormon Standard Time people, excuse the phrase, that arrive 5 minutes late for sacrament meeting. If this is turned off, then they can only, it's as if they walked into sacrament meeting 5 minutes late. They missed the first 5 minutes of the meeting. If you leave DVR turned on, even if they arrive 5 minutes late, they can still watch it from the beginning. And I think that's a nice feature. We don't need any delay or closed captions. And then I would unlist the replay once the stream ends. But again, that's up to you and your bishop and your ward council, whether or not you want your streams to be available longer than the meeting length itself. I wouldn't leave them available forever, but you might want to leave it available throughout the Sabbath day so people can watch it with their families. Okay, now it's time to start our stream. And the key to starting your stream is this key right here. But you'll notice that this setting, and this is a very important setting, so please pay attention to this part. It says auto-generated key. We don't want to use that. The reason you don't want to use that is then every time you create a stream, it will create a brand new key, which means you have a brand new link that you have to email out to every one of your members every time for every Sunday. YouTube has added a new feature called reusable stream keys. Okay, and I created one here for the 9th ward. And that lets me reuse the stream week over week over week. So now you can send the link out once, okay? And people can just use the same link every Sunday, okay? So we're gonna copy this. I'm just gonna copy it. And then I'm gonna go over into my OBS software and I'm gonna go into settings and I'm gonna go into the stream and I'm gonna paste that new key there. And you can see that it is there, 6GHQ. And I'm gonna hit okay. Now you may also wanna check what resolution you're transmitting at and things like that. Now, before I go into actually starting this, let me go out of here and into manage, because you're gonna set up the stream in advance. You still have to set up a stream for every Sunday, but you don't have to send out a new link. So in my case, I'm gonna go to manage. We'll come back to stream in a second. So here's my stream. I have a little thumbnail on it. And one of the things I can do is get a shareable link. This is the link that it just put in my, clipboard. And let me open up a new window here. And this is the link you're gonna mail out to everybody. And if somebody goes there in advance, they'll get here, in this case, this is the default thumbnail. You can change these. It'll say live in 11 days. Or if they're 5 minutes early, it'll say live in 5 minutes, and you kind of get a countdown. I'm gonna leave this window open because we're gonna come back to it and see what it looks like once I start streaming. Okay, so now I actually wanna start streaming, so I'm gonna open the stream back up. It's Sunday morning, I'm ready to go. I would have this window open so that you can see what's happening in OBS. Strictly speaking, you don't need it open, but I think you should have it open because it's gonna tell you what your stream health is, and how things are going. So I'm back over in OBS and it's time to start. So, and I would start your streams a few minutes early. Give people a minute or two to get things started and ready. So I'm going to hit start streaming. Okay, my green light is on. It's started streaming. It's telling me my current bit rate. One nice thing about YouTube is it is dynamic now. It'll set it to what your internet can handle. I am live. I've been live for 14 seconds. Let's go back over here. Okay, you'll notice now that it's starting to go live, and now I am live, and I have an excellent connection. If you'd like to see details, or if it gives you some messages, you can click on Stream Health, and your messages will show up. So here's my no data, because I was in here and I wasn't streaming anything, and I have a healthy stream, and everything is excellent. If you want to see who's watching, how many people are tuned in, I'm looking at concurrent viewers. You can see that here under Analytics. We'll go back over here to Stream Settings. Let's, just for grins, we'll go back over here and let's transition to the Sacrament. So now I've transitioned to the Sacrament. I'm going to go back over to here. And this is the live stream that the members are seeing. You'll notice that the Sacrament hasn't showed up yet. The reason it hasn't showed up yet is that there's about a 30-second delay between your live stream, and there it is, and what's going on for your viewers. Again, we can come back here and I can transition to end meeting. We'll transition to end meeting. If I go back over here, you'll see that the Sacrament's still here, and it will be here for another 15, 20 seconds. So back to our live control room. Now our meeting's over, and I'm going to hit stop streaming. Okay, all of the statuses went away. I've stopped streaming. You'll come over here, and in a few seconds, you'll see there it just transitioned the video to the end, and notice it went to no data. So I'm no longer streaming everything, but my stream is still active. In fact, if I go over here, you'll see this little buffering thing. That's because I'm no longer streaming, but the stream is still active. So the way you fix that is you click on end stream, okay? And that stops it. I know it's supposed to auto stop. Sometimes it doesn't. So I would always just make sure you come over and end your stream. You can edit it if you want. There's really no need to. If you click end, and now you can come back here into manage. You don't have any upcoming live streams, but where do those videos show up? Well, if you click on here and come back into the studio and go into videos and go to live, there is the 726 right here video that we just did. You'll notice that it's unlisted still. That means anybody with the link can still see it. And then I would make it private or delete it. Is what I would do. Now that's how you make it private. If you want to delete it, you click here, you click on delete forever. You say, yes, I understand. You delete forever, and you're ready to go. And then what I would do before I leave the building, right after you finish a broadcast, as I'd come back to create, I'd hit go live. I would go ahead and copy the one I just did. I would, change the date. And then just hit create, and you're ready to go. It'll, if I hit create, it's going to come up in here. You'll notice that it's got it. You want to make sure, this one I probably created with an auto-generated key. You just want to come in and verify that you're using the right key. That is the most important thing, is to make sure you're using the right key. And if we unhide that, you'll see it's 6GHQ, which is the key we're using over in OBS. So that's how you do your broadcast. And congratulations, you're ready to go try it out. And best of luck to everybody. And if you have any questions, call anyone on your on the stake technology committee, and we'll do our best to help you out. Thank you very much.